Andre the Giant was famous for being one of the top all-time wrestlers, an actor, and, well, a giant. He was a popular entertainment figure as his charming and gentle personality, combined with his enormous size, made for an intriguing and engaging public figure. But did you know that Andre had a daughter who was only 14 when he died? In this video, we're taking a look at Robin Christensen-Roussimoff, the only child of legend Andre the Giant. Andre the Giant was a wrestler on the rise in the beginning of the 1970s. While pursuing a dream of becoming a famous and successful entertainer, he met Jean Christensen. She worked in public relations in the world of wrestling, and the two became fast friends. Ben remarked there wasn't even a spark between the two of them when they originally began hanging out. But as a tall woman, Jean was always happy to be around men who were very tall. That way, even if she wore high-heeled shoes, she was still shorter than them. And at 7'4", Andre certainly met this definition. For a while, they'd run into each other and hang out at various wrestling events. But eventually, a romance developed, and the two began dating. Even so, Jean was under the impression that Andre was unable to have children, so it was a shock to her when she became pregnant with his child while she lived for a short period in France. The couple welcomed their daughter, Robin Christensen-Roussimoff, into the world in 1979. Sadly, their relationship began a quick decline after Robin's birth, and they split up when she was just a child. To add to that, their relationship was acrimonious, and there were numerous court battles. Between the split and the fact that Andre was constantly on the road, Robin barely ever saw him. Robin's relationship with her dad. Sadly, Robin and Andre's relationship never blossomed. Robin had been born in France, but moved with her mother to Seattle, where she was raised. And while she was certainly aware of her dad and his job as a big-time wrestler, she suffered from his. She was certainly aware her dad was famous and successful, but that didn't help to ease the sadness of him not being around. She wasn't even allowed to watch him on TV because her mom was aware it would create a misinterpretation of the type of person he was. That's because his stage persona was different from how he was as a real person. So Robin would only be getting a sense of what Andre was like through a fake personality. To Jean's credit, she wanted her daughter to think of Andre like a father and not like some famous wrestler. Her hope was that Robin and Andre would eventually have a real relationship, despite him largely being absent early on. And that plan worked to an extent. Robin has said she mostly hung out with him backstage, so she was able to understand who he was as a person more than simply his wrestling character.
It's no secret that your DNA can tell you a lot of information about your family history. And that's why we're so excited to partner with MyHeritage to show you how easy it is to test your DNA and make those exciting discoveries about your family and your ethnicity. When you order a DNA testing kit from MyHeritage, it comes with everything you need to test your DNA, including a clear step-by-step manual so anyone can do it. The MyHeritage DNA test requires nothing more than a simple cheek swab. So inside the kit, you'll find 2 cheek swabs, 2 vials, a pre-addressed envelope to send back your DNA sample, and a couple of other tools to make the process as easy as possible. After swabbing each of my cheeks for 30 seconds with the included swabs, I placed my samples into the vial and then packaged them up into the envelope. And with that, I'm only 3 to 4 weeks away from getting my DNA results. Alright, the time has finally come to check out my results, and I've been contacting my family over the past couple weeks to see if I can get any more information. And I know my mom's parents came over from England many years ago, so I'm expecting to see some English heritage. And my dad told me his family is Irish, so I'm hoping that these results will verify some of that information and then maybe give me some more to dig into. So let's take a look here. Whoa, 49% English? Yeah, that's my mom's right there. Wow, 43% Irish. No way. Italian? Wow, that 8% Italian is a huge surprise for me. And it says I have over 700 DNA matches within the Italian ethnicity. This is a super exciting discovery, and I can't wait to dig into this data and find some new relatives around the world. If you want to dive into your DNA and family history, you can buy your DNA kit at the link below. Be sure to use the code FACTSFIRST to get free shipping and a 1-month free trial to the MyHeritage platform.
Andre's short life. Robin has said that she's deeply saddened by the fact that she never really got to know her father, and while she's been hesitant to get too much into her personal life since reaching adulthood, she's occasionally revealed her disappointment that her relationship with Andre was never really able to flourish. Andre died at age 46 in 1993. He was in Paris at the time, sadly to go to the funeral of his father. While there, he died in his sleep in a hotel room. The cause of his death was congestive heart failure, though it was caused by the syndrome acromegaly, which Andre had but was never diagnosed. Andre's wishes had been to have his body cremated because he wanted his remains to be scattered at his home in North Carolina. But a problem immediately arose. There were no Paris crematoriums who could handle cremating a body that big. So his body was flown back to the U.S. and cremated there. When she considers their relationship, Robin often wonders if it would have developed into a close one had Andre lived. She's wondered if perhaps he would have slowly begun to become more and more of a presence in her life and would have been able to attend big events, like her high school graduation. She was quoted as saying she never really got to know who he was as a person and that he never really got to share in any of her life or her successes. And while a big part of their distant relationship was because her parents didn't get along, Robin is also aware that the rigors of professional wrestling and entertainment schedules made it hard for Andre to spend more time with her. Andre never spoke too much about it, though a friend of his, Jackie McCauley, did. In an interview, Jackie once remarked that Andre was devastated that he was never able to foster a good relationship with Robin and that it broke his heart. Watching The Princess Bride. Robin has told the story of going to see The Princess Bride with her mother. The all-time classic movie features Andre as the character Fezzik, and it endeared audiences all over to Andre. In 1987, Robin was 8, and her mother took her to the theater to see it. At the time, she had no idea her father was in a movie. In an interview with Sports Illustrated, Robin talked about being amazed when, in the middle of the movie, she suddenly saw her father on screen. It was during the scene early on when they're planning to kidnap Princess Buttercup. Robin shouted out in the theater, "That's my dad." Robin also told Sports Illustrated her father had been really proud of the movie and the role. She said he identified with the good-natured spirit of the character and that it was a more accurate portrayal of what he was really like than his wrestling persona. However, these days Robin actually has a hard time watching her dad on screen, whether it's from wrestling footage or even re-watching The Princess Bride. She admits to having a lot of mixed emotions about it. While she gets joy from seeing her dad again, it makes her remember the fact that they didn't really have a relationship. And the fact that his work schedule was a big part of why they weren't close means that watching wrestling or The Princess Bride is just another reminder of when he was off working. Yet she finds happiness in knowing he took pride in his work, and especially in the case of The Princess Bride, he was really happy to be able to show that more gentle side of himself. Robin's life these days. As an adult, Robin looks a lot like her dad. Not surprisingly, given her parents' size, she's also quite big, standing at over 6 feet tall. And you might assume that given the fact that Andre's wrestling career put a serious strain on their relationship, Robin would never have wanted anything to do with the sport. But she actually gave a go to pro wrestling for a bit. But that career never really took. And before long, she decided it wasn't for her. Yet she still tries to carry on her father's legacy in other ways. She even dabbled in acting for a bit, though it's unclear in what capacity and for how long. Not much is known about her life other than the fact that she still lives in Seattle, but she's been able to move past the trauma of having no real relationship with her father and become an advocate for his life and career. So she'll give occasional interviews about him and even attend various conventions on his behalf. No doubt wrestling fans and Princess Bride fans are delighted to meet her, if nothing else, to get a brief glimpse into the family tree. And Robin has reportedly formed bonds with other people who have parents that were in the professional wrestling world. She was even spotted backstage at WWE SmackDown in 2017. Because of that, rumors began to fly around that she would perhaps be joining a future SmackDown event as a wrestler, but she shut down those rumors quickly, having long since retired from that world. At the same time, fans appreciated the fact that her opinion of the sport hadn't been soured by either her father's participation or her lack of career success in it. Now it's time to hear from you. Did you know Andre the Giant had a daughter that he never really spent time with? Let us know in the comments section below.